not surprised that they're gonna put Jackson Dart in already. Like I feel like yes, it did come sooner than later, but I thought they were gonna give it like maybe another 2 weeks and then they were gonna put him in. But the Giants, I guess they see that their defense can be prolific and they can stop and they can play as well as anybody across the league, which I actually agree. I think their run defense is very good. Their defense needs some work, but it's still good as well. So if their offense can compete with their defense, they can actually do work, in their schedule. They go and they put them in for this week, but you said it there at the end against a Chargers, bro. 3-0 Charger, where their defense is looking like top 5 across the league, run defense and pass defense. And it's like, did you really have to start him for this game? Didn't you just want to wait a little bit and see what he can learn a little bit more from Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, when it comes to these high pressure situations, and be out there and be like, yo, look, this is what you do and this is what you don't do. And then, maybe a little bit down the road when you play a team that's more trash, you want to throw him in the fire, you want to throw him to the wolves, put him against the Chargers, and let's see how he does. I think he's going to do decent, but I still got the Chargers winning this game. I still see him probably throwing a pick. He probably will throw a touchdown, but maybe for like 140 yards, 150 yards. But he's not going to do as much work as he would against a defense that wasn't as prolific as the Chargers.
So before the season started, I thought the Giants should have just roll with them. See what you got, just do it. I understood the premise of put Russell Wilson out there, kind of give this guy a little bit of time to learn, blah, 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 that kind of approach. I like that approach more, especially when you have a kind of an incomplete team like the Giants have, the Aaron Rodgers sit back and watch approach. But in this event where your hand is being forced because you don't want to, you're not the Arizona Cardinals or a team that nobody cares about, right? It's the New York Giants. You got a lot of attention. Eventually, especially after all these bad years, you have to show that you're trying to win. Jaxson Dart, I'm not saying he's just going to come out there and throw darts and be this amazing gunslinger and win games and stuff like that. And I know it's just preseason. But in Ole Miss, in terms of the regular season for college football, he looked the part. He's an all-time leading passer, past Eli Manning, right? So that's not, the game has changed. There's more passing and stuff like that. So not comparing him to Eli. But he looked the part there, right? I know USC before that, and he kind of didn't. But either way, he looked the part at Ole Miss. And then in the preseason, no interceptions. Usually that's where that kind of starts to show, that transition to the NFL. Some bad mistakes, some bad interceptions. And yeah, you write them off because they're young. But he didn't throw any. He looked pretty good. He looked pretty electric. He's had good energy. Like, I think that's something that, the Giants kind of need. They haven't had a spark plug quarterback